Hello, hi. This is Ben Kneppers. I'm one of the co-founders of Bureo. I'm sorry I had to miss the Sustainability Innovation Conference. It was a heck of a lower carbon footprint to send this video from here in the south of Chile than it was to get on a plane and make it all the way there. So my apologies, but hopefully this video will fulfill a bit of what we're about. So I'm one of the co-founders of a company called Bureo. We're focused on creating innovative solutions to the growing problem of ocean plastic pollution. We started really just as three friends living all around the world, sharing a common passion for the ocean and ocean sports, and just not being able to get away from this growing problem of ocean plastic pollution. And we kind of got obsessed over it, where we looked into why it was getting out there and how serious of a problem it was. Unfortunately, as I'm sure we're all aware now, it is a global problem. Every year, 8 million tons of plastic pollution is entering our oceans. But the good news is it's solvable. And really the three most common key areas to focus on when we looked into the research was improving infrastructure in coastal environments, educating people about the issue, especially in emerging economies that are just recently, over the past 10, 20 years, got introduced to, for example, plastic packaging as this being a real problem. And three, behavior change. When we can, for example, connecting value to these materials, it makes people take action towards them. And so with that, we came up with this concept where we wanted to upcycle a very harmful form of ocean plastic, discarded fishing gear, into high-value products. And by upcycling it, we could add in a factor that could provide the infrastructure in coastal environments that was really needed to not only address this plastic pollution, but also finance other additional projects. I was, before this, actually working as an environmental consultant in the country of Chile, and I just saw it as such a wonderful, vast coastline, 4,000 kilometers, but also a place of opportunity. The Chilean government has the Startup Chile program, which is very supportive, pretty much the best deal you can get to get a company off the ground really anywhere in the world. They provide the seed funding to get our project implemented, which we now call Net Positiva. So Net Positiva is Chile's first ever fishing net collection and recycling program, where we partner directly with fishing communities, from the largest commercial fishing companies to the smallest artisanal fishing communities, just like where we are based here in Colchagua. There's a fishing village just around the corner, and I somehow managed to talk my wife to move in to this area, which actually, to be honest, is extremely beautiful. And what we do is we provide them the necessary infrastructure to manage the nets whenever they meet their end of life. We employ teams of local community workers to manage the collection process. And then through a network, we have the nets shipped to our recycler that we contract in Santiago, where they can go to be mechanically recycled back to a pellet, which then can be used for a whole range of products. In our case, the first one we did was something that we just wanted to connect in doing something positive. And so, and also something inspiring for this next generation coming up, to look at these things not all as problems, but as opportunities and things that can be solved. Because we really have to count on them at the end of the day to be the ones with the real big game-changing solutions. We can start the way, but we really see them coming in. So when I grew up, my prized possession was my skateboard. So without further ado, this is the Minnow. This is the first board we started with. It's 30 square feet of recycled fishing net in every board, and it's made at this very same facility that we recycle the nets, right in Santiago. We partner with other respected component providers in California, where we're based, to distribute the board. We really just went with the attitude of being long life, high quality, high performance, and as environmentally responsible as possible. So our wheels are actually 30% veggie oil and the cores are 100% recycled plastic. Every step of the way, we really tried to see how we could step up our game, and we're always going to continue to push with that. So we started with that. We had great traction. We did a Kickstarter to get this off the ground, raised $65K in 30 days. So that was an awesome response. But we also got a lot of response saying, we love what you're doing, but we don't skateboard. So the next thing we really went after was partnering with another B Corp in Chile, Karun. We developed a line of eyewear. So these are the Ocean Collection, as we call them. These are the first ever sunglasses frames made from 100% recycled fishing nets. That's nylon 6, so it's really durable, really great quality material, but also good for precision performance with what you need in sunglasses. And we launched that with another Kickstarter, and we were able to get to 180K in 30 days again. So that was awesome response. And now we're just kind of fueling this momentum and thinking even deeper of what this can be about, because we didn't really want this just to be something that was a gimmick, if you will, and really in saying like, oh cool, it's made from this fishing nets, but really something that we wanted to be about a circular economy. And that's where we are today. Is we've been able to make this something scalable. We have a model that works, and now we have this incredible surplus of material. So our goal at the moment is really to make this a national program in the country of Chile, where we want to provide this to every fishery in need, prove the model works here, and then even go beyond that. And how it's set up is like I was saying before, we partner directly with the fishing syndicate. So we get the fishermen first and foremost on board. And the really great thing there is the response across the board has been really positive. Instead of compensating the fishermen, we always knew that was going to be an important layer to this, is giving them the incentive, and obviously in that case a financial incentive for the material. Again, connecting with that behavior change of that concept in overcoming plastic pollution. But the challenge was we didn't want to either pay a big fishing company that was already doing financially quite well, or we didn't want to have the local fishermen to be fighting over who's getting compensated. So instead, what we set up is a program through Net Positiva where we partner with local grassroots organizations and NGOs that are already actively working with these communities and with these areas in each region of the country. And we set up a fund for each of those communities we're working in. So for every kilo of fishing net we receive, we put money into that fund, and then we connect up with this NGO that says, okay, when there's enough for a project budget, we have them partner up with us. They facilitate workshops with those community leaders of that community. They identify an opportunity in that community, and then they go and implement it. And, obviously we have some type of encouragement in doing something in the area of plastic pollution, waste prevention, but it's really what they want to do. And that's a really empowering part of this, that they've been able to take ownership in these projects. So we've just financed our 4th community project, the first being a community composting center where the women of the community were saying, hey, we have a lot of food waste and we don't know what to do with it, and that's worked out really well. Another one was an after-school program to teach kids at the local schools about recycling, and then at the end of it, we set up a recycling points at the schools so we could get them actively taking action with this. Another program, we identified in one of the syndicates a local all-women's recycling syndicate that was recycling cardboard and plastic bottles, and they were really limited in their capabilities. So we're actually working with them now on how to scale up their own recycling efforts beyond us. And obviously, in addition to that, we're working with them on how they can manage the nets in addition to the bottles and cardboard that they're already working on recycling. And then in addition to that, there was just a complete overhaul we're doing with a community that really just had no waste management when it came to their coastal area. So we're paying for the new, waste bins, and we're working with the local municipality on how they can now incorporate that into their normal schedule for waste management, waste collection in the area. So that's just a kind of a taste of what's happened so far. And the exciting thing is it's working, and it's getting the plastic to a final pellet with all these costs incorporated that's fairly competitive to virgin plastic, virgin in our case nylon 6. So what we're doing now is seeing that we have way more raw material from these fishing nets than we need just for our skateboards and sunglasses. So the exciting step we're taking is we've identified a few early adopting companies that are willing to really join us, if you will, in our mission. And by doing so, they have found positive applications for our material in their product lines. So instead of, the idea is really, instead of buying plastic from these companies and contributing to more and more virgin plastic being introduced into the environment, now they can join us in a solution that's going to actually be a part of addressing the problem, preventing this extremely harmful form of ocean plastic. Globally, it's 10% of the ocean's plastic pollution, and also identifies the most harmful form of ocean plastic, and also empowering coastal communities that really need the support. So really stop the waste at the source and empower these areas that really could use it. We have a couple projects in the works. You're going to have to stay tuned on seeing which one's going to come out first. But alongside that, we made a really tremendous achievement where working with the Living Product Challenge, new certification out there, it's something really progressive where it's saying instead of just certifying things that are less bad, that are reducing their impact, they only went after certifying things that are actually making a net positive, actually regenerating the environment and communities. And with our net positive of plastic, we're proud to say that we've just achieved that certification. So our plastic, we can actually now, going through these last few hoops, we're going to be able to say that we have the first ever plastic out there that has a net positive impact on the environment and people. That's something we're really proud about, and we're seeing is actually making a really difference when we're trying to pitch the use of our plastic to these other large companies. I really believe the circular economy is a natural fit for the way the world has to go. The numbers out there of the amount of plastic waste that's ending up as a waste is insane, and it's all just really not a waste, and it's something that we need to innovate ways to harvest, if you will, and becoming a resource again. And it makes perfect sense. This material is recyclable for many cycles, and it's the technology's been out there for a long time, and now it's just a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So I wish you guys great success with this conference. Thanks for the opportunity to share our story. I'm sure you guys can get my contact through the conference if anyone has any other questions. And yeah, thanks again for the story, and all the best from the south of Chile. Cheers.